Hello everyone, this is Doug Jankowski with the Grizzled Geek, and today I'm going to take a look at Galactic Star Fighter. This is one of those not too terribly often used elements of the game. It's seen a little bit of an increase in popularity since the Galactic Command System started getting changed to where it's worth a lot more points, but generally it's the lesser of the two PvP things that we've got going on. So let's just dive in there, kind of look at some elements that not a lot of people necessarily know about Galactic Starfighter. So here I'm actually in the hangar for the Galactic Starfighter. So if you go to the elevator that leads to outbound flights, outbound missions, interfleet transport, and the dropship hangar where you can get flashpoints here. Down in the outbound mission hangar, that has to do with all of the solo flashpoints for the Prelude to Revan. This can take you to the other ships in the fleet. The Starfighter launch deck has the, I guess you would call it, the role-playing elements of the Galactic Starfighter, because it actually came out at the same time as the Kuat drive yards flashpoint, and you start that basically by clicking this malfunctioning terminal, and it kind of sets up the story. It will get you started on the Kuat flashpoint, as well as introducing you, once you click on that, you'll be introduced to these characters over here who can be used as crew members for your Galactic Starfighter ships. They're actually the default crew. You can sub in some of your own companions, and they all have special powers having to do with Galactic Starfighter, so we'll take a look at that in a minute. You may also notice some of these terminals around the fleet. Basically, you click on these and they open up your interface for Galactic Starfighter. It's the same as clicking this button down here on your interface menu here. So this opens up the Galactic Starfighter interface. Here you can look at see what kind of ships you have. There are different types of, for example, strike fighters that you can open up with requisition and or the cartel coins. You have a strike fighter, a scout fighter, bombers, different types of bombers, and then gunships. I tend to play the gunship because it's the easiest, and I'm not, super into Starfighter. I only play it once in a while. It's fun, but it's probably one of the lesser things I do. I'm not a big PvP person at all, but this is the more fun of the PvP to me. I like the gunship because you're kind of like a sniper in the game. You sit back and you take pop shots at people from long range, while other people use the strike fighters for up close, scouts to try and grab objectives, and the bombers have a cool little abilities where they drop different gear all around the battlefield. They might drop a repair node or missile sentry drones. They've got proton torpedoes. They've got some. They can. And I'll talk more about it when we actually get into a match. But they can drop remote launch areas. I think it's called like a hyperdrive beacon. Okay, so there's that. You can also improve your ships. You click on the ship you want to improve, and you have something called ship requisition up here, and fleet requisition. Ship requisition is purely for this specific ship. Fleet requisition can be used for a number of things. It's across all of your ships. It also lets you unlock new ships, so it's more universally useful. So then you click on the item you want to improve. So you might click on your primary weapon is for a gunship is the railgun. So you look here. I've already unlocked everything for that one. You also have they list this as your primary weapon. I don't know why, because if you're using your laser cannons as a gunship, you're in trouble, because that means somebody's right on top of you and probably taking you on. But anyways, you have a number of different ways that you can protect your vessel. I tend to like fortress shields because you can just sit there, take a pounding while you line up your shot. If you click on something that is shaded out, that means it's still left to be bought, and here the cost will pop up. As you can see, I don't have the correct amount of ship requisition, but I could use fleet requisition to purchase it. I'm going to wait and build up the requisition. Then you have different, like these are escape maneuvers, or barrel rolls and escape maneuvers. Some of these others, like the rotational thrusters, turn you around quicker so you can line up your shot quicker. They all have various effects on that. Then you've got armor, which I've fully unlocked. You've got, this regenerates your power for your guns. This regenerates your engine, or shield, sorry. I think the engine regenerates just on a constant rate. Then you've got different, I tend to use dampening sensors so they can't find you from as far away, but there's different things that will let you see further, or see off of allied ships further. Then you can do some cosmetic stuff. These are usually things you buy from the cartel market, or they drop from cartel packages. You know, if you were a subscriber when this came out, you got some for free. So anyways, you can customize your ship, what it looks like, and whatnot. Then here's the crew interface. You could switch who does what job, and that will switch the powers that are available to you while you are playing. I tend to like the powers, you know, the default powers. They're quite a bit more useful than trying to sub in your characters. They're not as good. So, or at least they're not as good for the basics of Starfighter. Once you get a little more attuned to what's going on, then you might want to play around with it a little more. I don't, because I'm just not that into it. Finally, once you've gone through and seen all that, you'll be ready to launch for a battle. So you can click battle here, or you can use the Galactic Command interface if you're level 70 and click it here, and then it will queue you up for a match. Starfighter still isn't super popular, so you're probably going to wait for a while for a match, so definitely look at doing something else, do some planetary missions, run around and craft stuff, whatever, but you're probably going to wait a little while for that. But alright, so let's go ahead and queue up for a Starfighter match. Alright, one other thing I wanted to point out before we start our battle is that there are weekly and dailies for these that'll give you some cool rewards, and we'll look at those when we get them. You'll get a pop-up much like PvP match. You just click enter now and we'll head for our Galactic Starfighter battle. Now there are a few different types of matches. The one we're entering now is a just straight up fight between two sides. The point here is just going to be to eliminate other fighters. Some of the other type of match will be trying to capture objectives and hold them from the other team. So here you'll be able to select which thing you want to fly, whether you want to be a strike fighter, a scout, or a gunship. You select that here, and it'll show you what your different powers are. So clicking a 1 will switch your weapons, clicking a 2 will turn on my shields, 3 will do my barrel roll, and 4 will repair my ship. I should point out that if you have motion sickness, be careful, because you do some kind of crazy maneuvers that could lead to motion sickness. I had a friend who would get motion sickness playing the Starfighter, so be forewarned while we're here. So now you can see red are our targets. If they're crossed out, that means they're behind something, and then our team will try and eliminate them. Alright, so let's see, we're gonna snipe here. Oh, he flew out of range and around the corner. And, it's kind of hard to tell who, at certain times of day, certain
That was my fault.
people will be better. The Republic will be better. Oh, I just died here. Somebody slammed through my shields, and then another person hit me with a missile. Alright, in this one, the objective is to be the first team to score 50 kills, or go until the time runs out. So if you look at the top, the center of the screen, you'll see we have 12 minutes and 15 seconds left in this match. So whoever gets to 50 first, or scores the most points in that time frame, it will win. Oh, this guy flew out of range. Come on, turn around. Alright, so you can see
compensating for damage.
This guy's not very responsive. Takes kind of a long time to turn.
My circuits were designed to operate.
I got ganged up on there. Seems like our teams are pretty evenly matched. However, our guys are all spread all over. They're not staying together, fighting as a team. That's one thing in Starfighter. You are much better off sticking together and covering each other, much like real fighters in the real world. But a lot of times you get people who think they're really good at it, and so they'll run off on their own and try and get as many kills as they can so they can win the most medals. Alright, so here you've got, oh, he's going to come around. So you can keep an eye on it. I know that my main cannon reaches 15,000 meters, so I can keep an eye on that. Alright. So despite my not doing terribly well on this one, our team is doing really well. So yeah, you kind of just have to play along, act as a foil if you need to, because just help your team move guys into crossfires and whatnot. So it does take a while to get the hang of this. Galactic Star Fighter is not necessarily super easy. It plays much differently than most of the game. That was incorrect. Hit the wrong button there. And down in the lower right corner, you'll see kind of a display of the whole battlefield.
Evasive action taken.
Fingers are off target here. I keep pressing 3 instead of 2. As you see, your laser cannons for the gunship are not terribly accurate. And you can see the flipping around. If you have a weak stomach, you may run into some trouble.
I could have performed better myself.
At the top, you can see my guns charging. So the higher you get on that charge, the more damage you're going to do. So it's something to keep in mind. You can see that red dot there. That is a special power-up. I believe the red ones make your weapons more powerful. So when you do actually shoot somebody, you're going to do it with, you're going to hit for more damage.
Compensating for damage.
Kind of fly in circles and stuff to keep people from getting a bead on you, especially the sniper, like I am. Gunships tend to not be very maneuverable, so sometimes it's hard to avoid. Once somebody's got a bead on you, it's hard to break that contact. But I managed to escape there, but I'm pretty damaged, so to be careful. Ah, missed. I'm just not doing too well today.
Target obliteration confirmed. I couldn't have performed better myself. Compensating for damage. I predict imminent failure.
I think we destroyed each other there. That was interesting. And you'll see some of your powers all have a recharge on it. Sometimes it's pretty quick. But you want to pay attention to those because they're what's gonna, they're going to dictate what you can do during the battle. And you'll see there's on either side of me on the map in the lower right hand corner, you see little circles there. Those are our bombers have dropped things to help us out, repair nodes or something along those lines. Seeker mine there. Okay, so then at the end of the match, a pop-up like this will appear, and it will show you how you did on the match. You'll see we won this match. You can see the rankings of the different people involved, both sides. So you can see one of our guys had the top spot. Actually, it was kind of in the middle, so I didn't do horrible. Got a lot of assists. And then you get medals based on that. So I got two medals for quick draw, getting 2 kills, support 4 kill assists, then fighter 8 kill assists, and I did 10k damage one time. So I got those 4 medals. The other battles, you'll get medals for defending an objective, for capturing an objective, things like that. So then you click exit battle, and we'll go back to wherever we were when we entered the battle, and then we'll get our reward there for it. And I'll talk about what the rewards are that you get for Starfighter. In this case, I'm just going to be getting the daily. I haven't earned enough quite for the weekly. I forgot to show you on there. You do earn credits as well as command XP, and if you got your boost going, which I do, I'm sure I hit. So I leveled at least once in my command XP there. I'm going to get some unassembled components, some minor ship requisition, and 40 fleet combinations. So these can still be used to buy things having to do with Starfighter, including decorations. So if you're somebody who likes to decorate your stronghold with various things, you can get some that are themed directly towards Starfighter. So there you have it. There's Galactic Star Fighter in a nutshell for you. Like I said, I'm not an expert on it, but it is fun. It's a good diversion for every once in a while. It usually will get you a decent amount of, a lot of command experience actually, and it'll also get you a decent amount of points for conquest. This week, the conquest actually involved more than just competing in matches. Usually that's a thing for conquest, but here you actually will get medals earned will get you towards, and you can see they're infinite symbols, so all my guys can get this. It'll build up to 50. Whoever hits the 50th medal will get these conquest points, then it'll reset. You also will get points for the weekly, as well as how many matches you've won. So there you go. Thank you all for listening. Like I said, I'd like to hear from you about what you like about Galactic Star Fighter, what you don't, what you'd like to see changed about it. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe, and I will be talking to you next week. You guys all enjoy playing SWTOR, and may the Force be with you.